You're very welcome to be out in a cottage here in the west of Ireland. Welcome into my home and my 3 acres of woodland. Thank you once again, Mike in Portland, for the beautiful painting of my great-grandmother's cottage, thatched cottage in Omagh. So sad that it was the very last cottage that was thatched. It's a couple of 100 years old at least, and it was the last one standing in Omagh, only to be bulldozed. Anyway, that is a beautiful painting, and I will cherish that. And there's my great-grandmother stood at the gate, that little star from the heavens. Yes, I treat myself to some flowers now and again, because if I had little but no money in the bank, I don't have a lot, there's a few things that I really treasure. 1 is good coffee and tea. 2, fresh flowers. And 3, walking in nature, which I feel when you have flowers and plants in your home can be as much akin to nature as anything else. A lot of you ask me about, things I have here in the kitchen. Yes, that is a pen and ink drawing of William Butler Yeats above the sink. And that's a little watercolour painting of Bealtaine Cottage when I first started off. And that's a very special stained glass piece that a lovely artist called Matty Black made for me. The radio works. That's an original Irish dresser, which means that it was handmade here in Ireland many, many years ago. I think it's about 100 years old, something like that. And the time is 5:25, so I'm going to take you outside. Now, I meant to go out today and buy myself a new pair of shoes, because I have shoes on which are not really suitable, I suppose, for the late spring and coming summer. And my boots are just too warm because they're fur-lined. So the Magnolia stellata has come out in flower. And there's lots of buds everywhere. It's the waxing moon. Now, something that's happened over the past few days, which I took some photographs of this morning, and I posted them on my social media platforms. The beautiful white blossom on the blackthorn. I'll just do a little close-up here so you can see. And there's also some blossom ready to break just up here on this little cherry tree that I grew from seed. That's actually from the grounds of my old school up in Omagh. You can just see the blossom ready to break. It's white blossom. Now, I've been potting on a lot of seedlings. So far I've got my curly kale repotted, I've got the peas repotted, and some spring onions repotted. And I'm going to leave them in here in this fairly sort of semi-sheltered environment. So as they grow on, nice and strong, I won't plant them out until they're bigger plants and the root systems are really well developed. The bigger they get, the less the slugs want to eat them. I've also been potting up some parsley here as well. with all the work that I've done here at Old Cottage over the past spring and winter, done a lot actually. Got quite tired as well, I think. But the one thing that keeps on nagging at me is the very strong sense of needing to go through a period of renewal. Renewal for body and soul. It's as though I've put all the pieces in place here in the woodland gardens, you know, to ensure that this year everything thrives. And I really feel the need at this point to do something now for myself in order for myself to thrive. So I'm getting quite personal with you now talking. It's something that I think we all need to do at some point or another. But for me, it's essential that I actually start this process of renewal as soon as possible. You know, just thinking about this momentarily, it's something that I think comes to me each year, usually in the beginning of April, and in preparation for Bealtaine itself, which is of course summer here in Ireland, and the month of May. The month of May is named Bealtaine. I've been here since 2004 when I started the Bealtaine project, turning these 3 rushy fields into a woodland. And I have devoted that huge chunk of my life to this. It hasn't been a sacrifice, really, because I've loved and I continue to love living so close to Mother Earth. But over the 18, coming on for 19 years, I have looked after myself in kind of spurts, you know. I haven't done it continuously. But I think really I need to centre down on my own health and well-being. So that's something that I'm thinking about at the moment. I'm not committing myself to anything just yet, but I am thinking about it. The fact that I write for a living, my income comes from the sale of my books, and at this point actually I want to thank everybody who supports me on Patreon. It's a good portion of my income. I've got to share with you as well what's been happening down here in the Fairy Wood. Now I'm just stood on the bank overlooking the Fairy Wood. But there's an enormous amount of flattened foliage and compressed earth, and that is very much to do with a vixen who has made her home here, and I'm not sure whether she's had her cubs or whether she's going to have the cubs. I do strongly suspect she's pregnant because I have seen her several times, and I've never seen such a rotund looking vixen. But I'm looking forward to seeing more of her, and I hope her little family. It's a lovely sheltered spot that she's chosen, and most definitely the signs of life down here, of habitat. And a little note here, those of you who have ordered the book Walking Between Worlds, I spoke with my printer yesterday, Friday, and was told that the book is now at the binders, so there should be a delivery of the books here to the cottage, hopefully Monday. I'll send an email out as soon as I actually have the books. I've got all the envelopes ready for those of you who have ordered and paid for the book, and they will be posted out as soon as I get them. The new bed is settling in well, and the plants that I have taken from the tunnel, this aubracia, have successfully transplanted, and everything else as well has successfully transplanted, and I keep adding more and more soil as I empty out pots. I've put a little Vitinia in here, and I've got some little ferns that I've identified in the fairy wood, sort of baby ferns, and I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put them into the bank along here. So blessings to you all. I'll leave you with this little image of the beautiful blackthorn blossom.